All right, I am here today with Kaci Dowd. Kaci is the founder and co-owner of Bad Yogi's Club in Cumberland, Rhode Island. She grew up with a ballet background and has dedicated her entire adult life to health, fitness, and hyping people up. She found her true passion in group fitness and has spent the past 13 years teaching, torturing, and inspiring her clients. While half of her time was spent with a few studios, a seed of a dream started to grow, and with a mom that aggressively believed in her, that dream became concrete in 2019. Kaci, alongside her mother and little sister, opened the doors of Bad Yogi's Club, where they create an inclusive, uplifting space, meeting each person wherever they are on their journey on any given day. The core belief is in the magic of movement and to make magic happen one beat of sweat, and breath at a time. Welcome, Kaci.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to chat with you today, especially I feel like wellness has become such a hot topic that I would love to hear from somebody who has basically dedicated their life to helping other people bring wellness into their own life.
Yeah, wellness has become such a like bubble term that sometimes you want to steer a little bit clear of it because it almost feels like oversaturated when that's kind of sad for us because people coming to the studio, we end every single class in Shavasana. And so every class that I end, I am a broken record, but I think it's worthwhile to say. We always say, like being on your mat, it's more than just a workout. It is like this opportunity to take care of yourself where there's nothing else going on, nothing else to do, just being present in your body. So like wellness for us is so much more than just physical movement. It's about like knowing yourself better through like pushing through something that's hard, whether that's a cardio burst or you're outside of the studio. Just knowing yourself when you need to take rest, when you can push, and just the whole scope of it.
I love that. And what it reminds me of a lot, and this is something that I think I personally struggle with, is I feel like a lot of what is pushed as wellness right now, there's also this need to sort of constantly be what's the word I'm looking for? Like working towards something, like constant productivity, even within your wellness, and to the point of like multitasking. And so I love that your classes and everything that you're sort of, utilizing in your business is very like, let's be here, let's be present, and let's just let this be our main focus. It feels like quite a breath of fresh air compared to everything that is
Yes.
out there.
Like a lot of the wellness stuff has become like wellness in line with thinness. You know what I mean?
hmm
Wellness in line with thinness, wellness in line with like working yourself to exhaustion, like just making sure you get in a workout. And like, that's not what we're about over here. Sometimes
Yeah.
and we just like chat and then we run late for class.
But that's part of sort of the holistic wellness element is
Yeah.
it's not just we're coming in and we're doing this workout and we're getting in our 50 minutes or whatever it is, but it's like how are we all feeling? How like actually taking that space to make sure that everybody is feeling well, or if they're not, like okay, let's see what we can do to get that person's wellness cup a little bit more full, wellness in the like emotional state rather than like the other state. Okay, so very interesting, and this has been a space that you have been in for a long time. So I would love to hear a little bit about how, if at all, your relationship to the idea of wellness has changed just, through your own life as you have grown and had new experiences. But then also if you have noticed or felt sort of an impact based on I guess, the social media wellness.
Yes. So when I started in the wellness space, um, I started at a studio because I was super unhappy, and I actually had purchased it's. I share this story often, but my I had purchased a Groupon for a local studio, and I felt too embarrassed to put on a workout outfit because I had never worked out before, and so I let that Groupon expire. So then my dad purchased myself another one along with my mom, my little sister, And we ended up going, and I ended up falling in love. And that just like, I changed my life going there. That ended up being the first studio that I worked at. And it just, I never thought that working out would be something that I would love. And it just is like being able to move your body and like the privilege of being able to move your body. And it just shifts the way that your day is. Like if you're having a hard day, you can get on your mat, whether that is like a gentle stretch or we're swinging kettlebells around. And all of that energy just moves around. My husband thinks that everything I do is witchcraft. So when I see energy around, it's like woo woo to him. But it really is like like we were saying, like every bead of sweat at a time. It just is like my idea of wellness has changed because when I started, it was about working out, and then it just becomes like feeling strong and being able to show up for yourself. So that's
Yeah,
kind of morphed.
I love that. And it's very much sort of, taking what existed or like what was accessible to you at
Yeah.
that time, and then just allowing that relationship to just breathe and grow as you needed it to, and just as your life changed. And I love that. That's so inspiring. And now you are sort of on the other side as well as a business owner, with your mom and your sister. So has that had any sort of impact in how you perceive the wellness space, or now that you are sort of working with clients, I imagine that you see a lot of repeats and then new people as well. Has sort of seeing the way that other people interact with your space as the owner, but then seeing sort of your people come in, has that changed, or how has, wellness from that perception
I
come about?
say since and this like, this was happening before, like as I was working for other people and kind of like learning and growing, like learning what I liked, how I wanted to, like what I wanted to put out. And then also seeing like other business owners or like how studios ran, what I didn't want to take with me. And so, which is, life, like that's how you build. But the most beautiful thing about owning our own space is, and the people that come in that are brand new and the people that are here all the time, um, is that without us telling them, they say back to us like what we're trying to inspire. So we have a lot of tears in here. I'm a crier. I cry all the time. Everyone knows I'm just always crying. If something's happy, if something's sad, if something's beautiful or magical, I'm just shooting tears out. But so people come in all the time and they take their first class and maybe they cry on the mat, and not everybody cries on the mat. Sometimes like we're not like trying to make people cry all the time, but people say to us like this has changed my life, or which is a crazy thing just as like when you think about it, like simply we're teaching a class. um but it's so much more than that, and like the space that we've created and the community that we've created that just keeps building. um People come in. I have two clients that are self-proclaimed welcome wagon, and that's the kind of studio we are. And so I love that. It's always very welcoming, and people feel the warmth of it. So I would say like it's only become more like our feelings towards wellness have only become more special to us because it's just we're teaching classes, but people like this is their therapy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's going back to that sort of idea of, I can just tell from what you're saying, like the holistic approach. And it's not just, okay, we're coming in, we're working out and, feeling some feelings, but it's truly creating a community, creating a space that can help people to sort of, another hot topic thing like nervous system regulation, but it seems like that's also something that would be a benefit that people would get from, particularly coming to your studio when it is such a welcoming, accepting environment. They know that it's like, okay, this is a safe space, this is a place where I can relax. And that is like so important for someone who is trying to, um, sort of figure out their own wellness journey. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. Um, I'm also sort of curious within, I feel like maybe this is just my own personal perception, but I feel like particularly since COVID happened, there has been like an explosion of wellness influencers online. And I say that with a grain of salt, knowing that there are people out there with lots of degrees. There are people out there with not lots of degrees. And so I'm just sort of curious because you did start your business pre-COVID and then, you went through owning the business during that time. Sounds like you're still doing excellent, which is wonderful. I'm super curious if just like, I feel like I can't go online without getting some sort of tip about something that I am doing incorrectly that would make a vast improvement in my life. And I'm curious, is that something that you see either in your clients? Is that something that you see, like, sort of, does that impact your work, how you do your work? Do you feel like you're constantly trying to sort of help people navigate those situations? Has that impacted you at all?
Um, I don't know if I would necessarily say it has impacted us, but I would say like going back to, the buzzword of wellness, I feel like another buzzword is like authenticity.
Mm.
And when you're watching, it's so hard to tell because like you could be people are like bombarded, you're saying like you open up Instagram, TikTok, whatever, and you know, there are people that just have excellent genetics. And then they're like, do this workout. This is how I got these abs. And someone who is like really putting in the work and struggling, I think that that's tough, kind of damaging. But so I think that's why it feels so important when we come in. Like I'm not a person, COVID was tough because I love group fitness. I love like everyone breathing in the room together um, without a mask on. So that was also brutal teaching cardio with a mask on. Um, but I feel like being able to actually talk to like real people and see things in real life and not everything's perfect. Like I saw some girl posted a TikTok the other day that someone set up a tripod and just went and stood there and like was jogging out of like a hike, but she didn't do the hike, then she was like packed up. So like it's like what's real, what's not real. And I feel like that is for people that are struggling when you're looking and people are like, oh, like take this supplement, do like drink this, drink that, like you're not doing it right is ick. It's like kind of ick. Um, and like of course there's like new things that come up that are like good for you. Um, but I don't like all of that. That's not like I need to do a better job on our social media, but I try to use like real pictures of like of us, of our clients, of it's not perfect. One of our clients wrote us like a beautiful note about how she's able to show up and like how we made her feel safe to be messy. And so I think like that's the beauty of life is the mess and like trial and error and not a picture perfect thing. So that's how I feel about influencers. I don't feel like it's really impacted what like we have going on here, but in general in the space and like staying away from the word wellness because of things like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, so that just reminded me of, and this is a very off script question, but I'm super curious, and we can cut this if you don't want to answer it. If but um, I I will say for me personally, when I see videos of people online who are filming themselves in a class,
Mhm.
and I know that they're trying to a certain extent to just get themselves, but like given the nature of group fitness, it can't always be just them in the frame. And that deters me from the idea of going to a class because I don't want to be filmed in what I would consider like a little bit of a moment of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Um, and so that makes me a little bit like, "Ugh." And so I'm just curious, like, do you have a way where you all like, do you do no filming in the studio or do you do like, do you have sort of a feeling towards that? Because for me, it's like, oh, it makes me not want to go to a class.
Yeah. I have so many feelings on that. I feel as from an instructor point of view and from an owner point of view. When I am scrolling and I see an instructor like taking the time to set up their own camera, but their class is behind them, I feel like now like you've taken yourself out of like service to your members that have shown up,
Mhm.
um, and pulling focus from them. And so I don't love that. And then from the vulnerability viewpoint, for our clients, like we have some people that will like set up their camera, and if there's going to be somebody in, which is like very rare, if there's going to be somebody in it, they say like, "Do you mind?" But oftentimes it's not anybody that's going to be in their shot. Like if
Mhm.
somebody wants to record their own selves, and usually it's a time lapse, which is like, like you can't even see anything anyways. But usually if someone's doing that, like if they want to record, usually it'll be like we do booty glow classes, which is like a cardio, like asana yoga practice. But we have put all the black lights on. Everybody wears glow clothes, and so we do get people that want to do like a time lapse of that. But usually when someone wants to record, they are like off in the corner. But like again, it's like very rare here. Um,
Mm.
and then as far as like if my mom or my sister rolls in, which just like it's, and I'm teaching a class, they might like snap a picture and it's the back of everybody. But I do get that like nobody wants to be doing crunches. Like, because how do you enjoy your class? How do you enjoy the movement if you're like worried about someone taking a picture or a video of you? So we just like it hasn't really been an issue because we don't have people really doing it here. But when I
Mhm.
see it, I go, ew. Like
Yeah.
nobody wants it. Like nobody wants to be in the background of that. So I wouldn't anyways.
Yeah, that's I feel like I kind of my eye just naturally goes to the people who are in the background and I'm like I wonder if they consented to that, which is none of my business, but that's always where my mind goes. Awesome. Okay, so my last question, and you kind of just mentioned this in your previous answer, but you have some really cool classes. Is there one that is like a particular favorite either of yours or it seems to be a favorite of your clientele? I would just love to hear a little bit about the types of classes that you offer.
So hard because I started with bar and I love bar. Um, kind of that goes in line with like I grew up with ballet, even like I took ballet classes as an adult. So I like all of that kind of stuff. I love making playlists, which is like this is a great job for me. But people love bar here. I would say that that's probably of the favorite. People love bar. And we also have yoga classes. So we just have like across the board, we have power vinyasa, we have gentle yoga, we have an all levels flow. And so there's kind of lots of room for people to balance out their workouts, or just we have a lot of just straight yogis. They don't want to swing a kettlebell. Um, my little sister created a class called Bells and Bands that she teaches on Friday mornings that is just, it's wild because it's at 5:30 a.m. and it is waitlisted every single week. And
Wow.
it's just like a true strength training class. But I think it all comes down to, so we have a lot of fun classes, obviously, but I think it all comes down to the vibes and the music that we have. It's not, we're not corporate, so it's not the same playlist every week, the same moves every week. We really pride ourselves on knowing our clients and kind of tailoring things. So not that it's a personal training, but if we know someone just had knee surgery or is pregnant or whatever, we like to say alternative moves because not that they're lesser or harder, just so that we can meet everybody where they're at. So I think people just really enjoy being able to come and get a workout in and feel cared for.
Yeah, absolutely. The true like boutique, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it to me it sounds like the true boutique wellness experience, like what you really want out of that type of experience is, instructors who care, instructors who want to get to know you and who are going to sort of have everyone's best interest in mind and not necessarily pushing for KPIs or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Casey, this has been so fun. Thank
I
you
love it.
so much for chatting about wellness with me. I have so enjoyed it. And I also am feeling very inspired to sort of recenter my own wellness practice, particularly going into the holiday time of year, and just making sure that I'm checking in with myself as well as physically taking care of myself. Yay.
And don't,
Are you ready to move on to the baker's dozen?
I'm ready.
Yay! Okay, I love this segment. It's 13 quick question and answers for people to get to know you a little bit better. Okay, so are you a morning person or a night owl?
Night owl for sure.
To teach night classes?
I do teach night classes. So I teach my night classes and then I stay up all night because I'm like off most of my classes are high energy. So I'm jumping around all the time. And then I just go home and rage when I should be.
I love that. Um, okay, so then interesting to see the answer to this one. What is your favorite part of your morning?
My favorite part of my morning is my kids are in my bed still every day. Some people hate that. That's fine. I love them. I would say my favorite part of my morning is their little tiny hands because my husband gets up
Oh.
earlier than us. So they're always like, it's a little hand on the face, a little hand on the chest, and then one day their hand is going to be huge and they won't want to snuggle with me anymore. So sometimes it's a foot and that's a little less pleasant, but it's a hand. I love it. That's my favorite part.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute. Who would play you in a movie about your life?
Oof. Who would play me in a movie about my life? Oh my God, I don't know. I don't know who would play me.
I know this is kind of a hard one.
Hard. I'm stumped right now. I'm
Okay.
stumped.
Do you want to come back to it at the end? Okay. If you weren't a business owner, what job would you want?
If I wasn't a business owner, what job would I want? I was just talking about this yesterday because coming into this and talking to you, um, I am a professional silly goose. Like I don't like I never have to really like I don't think I could settle into anything that's not that I wouldn't have like artistic freedom in. So I think that if I wasn't a business owner here, I also don't know if I could work for anybody else. I think I would be doing something art, creating something. Um, I just like hanging out in my garden all summer. So I am I I don't know what I don't know what I would be if I wasn't this.
I could see like current Pamela Anderson, you know how she's kind of just like doing her garden thing? Like I
Yeah,
could see that. I could
yeah.
see you making that work.
I have some Pamela Anderson money, definitely. Like,
I think when we all have Pamela Anderson money, that's what we're all going to be doing.
yes, absolutely.
What advice would you give to your 10-year-old self?
Oh, to my 10-year-old self, I would tell her to be kinder to herself and not talk so bad to herself, which is the same thing that I am trying to inspire into my children now. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I love that, getting them on the positive self-talk early. Similarly, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self?
Oh my God, I would tell her to chill out. I would tell her to chill out. I would say the same thing to her, to be a little kinder, a little bit softer, and that things are going to work out. At 20, I did not like foresee this future. So yeah, but I would definitely tell her to chill out. That would be that would be my chill out, slow down.
I love that. Do you have something that is a daily non-negotiable?
A daily non-negotiable. I write every single day. Whether it is if it's raining, I'm not into it. But I love being outside, barefoot, Pamela Anderson style. And I have like 10,000 notebooks. My clients here laugh at me all the time because I like lose them and then I find them. And but I have 10,000 notebooks and I write in them every day. And I like to write like just whatever's happening with me, but I also like to write a lot of my like what I'm gonna say to them about whatever. Just like write little poems and then but that is a non-negotiable every day that like centers me and chills me out.
I love that. That's such a good practice too of getting it out of your brain and down onto the paper.
I need it to be on paper. Everything has to be on paper.
Yeah, me too. What is your current coffee order?
I actually do not drink coffee.
Okay. Do you have a different or beverage that you currently order?
So I don't order a lot of coffees or teas, but I do make tea every morning. That's part of my also my morning routine. And I drink a ginseng, like adaptogen tea, and I put some little mushroom drops in it, and that is my order.
I love that. Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Oh my God, a go song. I would say I hate it right now because it's a TikTok trend, but Four Non Blondes. What's going on? That would be it. It's everybody's singing it right now, so
That's okay. You're just on trend.
it's on trend.
What is the last thing that you Googled?
What is the last thing that I Googled? Um, let's look. I Google a lot of things.
Me too. At this question, we're often pulling out the receipts to see.
Yeah, let's see. Where's my history? Oh, it's a recipe for croque monsieur because it's French.
Oh,
Cool.
oh
I
my
had
God.
to, I had to make a French lunch today, so that's what I was doing.
Oh, that's so fun. I didn't know they had French week now. It's
It's
very
French.
different.
Yes, my kids go to a charter school, so it's language week. So the younger kids learn French, and then when they get older, it's French or Latin. So yesterday was
Oh,
French fashion day, and today is French lunch day. So
wow.
if they
That's
loved it or hated it, I'll find out. They're brutally honest, so they will tell me.
so fun. I love that. Um, okay. What is something that you have never done that might surprise people to learn about you?
Something I've never done. I don't know. I feel like I've done a lot of things. I don't know. I don't know what would be surprising for people to know. I am kind of a I'm kind of a blabbermouth, so I'm like just always talking. I don't have any secrets. So I don't know what would surprise people to know about me.
Fair.
I'm sorry that I'm squishing this baker's dozen.
That's okay. That's okay. It's about being real, and I don't want you to pretend to
Yeah.
whatever. Okay. Is there or where is somewhere that is on your travel bucket list?
My travel bucket list. I hate the cold,
Mm.
but even though they're showing up everywhere, would like to go to Lapland to see the aurora.
Mm,
To sleep in a little glass cabin, would love it.
yeah. It's one of those things where you just want to have the ex like that specific experience.
And it just is so beautiful. One of my favorite things, even though I hate the cold, is like the crunch on like a fresh snow. So like thinking about that sounds beautiful.
I love that. Okay, and question number 13. What is the best advice that you have ever received?
The best advice that I have ever received is, I feel like so general, but to really just be yourself and own being yourself. Um, there's a poem that I love that says, I'm just gonna ad lib it right now. But there's a poem that I love that says like the sun doesn't dull its shine just because people have to squint their eyes. And I love that. I loved like not shrinking, I think is like the best advice that anyone's ever given me. To
That's
take,
really good advice.
yeah,
I feel like it's one of those things where we kind of know it when we're kids, and then it sort of loses its prominence, I guess, in our like in the forefront. And then I feel like around, yeah, like our late 20s, we start to like, oh yeah, that's right. I am very cool. And has anyone come to mind for who would play you in a movie about your life?
I feel like I'm blanking on like all of the actresses that I can even think about.
There's one who she was just in a movie. She's been in a bunch of movies. Zoe Deutsch? I don't know if that's how her name is pronounced. Not not Zoe Deschanel. But there's a different girl.
I know who you're talking about. I
Yeah.
think like Jennifer Lawrence is also enough of a weirdo to play me.
I
I
could
feel
see Jennifer Lawrence doing a great job. Casey, this has been so fun. Thank you
yes, it
so
really.
much for taking the time. I'm so glad we were able to connect.
Thank you for dreaming this up and making it happen.
Yay. So if people loved what you said, if they're interested in learning a little bit more about you, a little bit about Bad Yogis Club, and potentially interested in coming in for a class, where can they find you and connect with you?
They can always find me on Instagram. It's Bad Yogis Club, but it's me. You'll always hear me, and I am a night owl. So if you send us a message at midnight, you're probably hearing back from me. Um, Instagram, you can reach us anywhere. Our website is badyogisclub.com. And as far as classes, we are through Mind Body. So that's just a platform. I think like almost everybody has it.
Mhm.
But you can sign up there and we do first class free. So there's no risk and all reward. Like show up and you might fall in love.
Yay! Ah, thank you so much for your time today. This has been so inspiring, and I'm so grateful to hear from you.